Um, my name is Donna-Maria Green, and my birthday is September 10th, 2003, I think. And I play basketball. What was the other question? I'm a Virgo. We're just the best. That's it. Um, I was born in Dominica, but I probably moved when I was 7 years old to the Virgin Islands, and I've been there ever since. Dominica. Because I get to go to the rivers and I have more family over there than in the Virgin Islands. Seafood. Rap, like Lil Baby, and a little bit of Fantasia, so R&B. I feel like since I moved, like I haven't really been into soca as from before. It was basketball. It was softball first, and then I stopped playing softball, and then my mom had me play basketball, and ever since then it's just been basketball. Once my mom spoke to this guy, I guess, and happens to be a coach, and I was in 8th grade at the time. Yeah, I was in 8th grade, and he was telling her about how I was tall and stuff. So he was like, it was best like I would try come to one of the practice and see how it feels to start playing basketball. And then my mom took me, and at first I didn't like it, obviously, because I'm like, what is this? It was just a lot. The first couple months I didn't really like it. That first year I didn't really like it, but then I got serious like in 9th grade, and that's when I had my first AAU team. It was what was it called? Power Move 2020 or something like that. It's a Baltimore team in Baltimore because the coach, his assistant coach, like that's where he's from, so he had an AAU team, and I was playing with them for 2 years, 9th and 10th grade. It was kind of a lot because I wasn't used to it, but then I saw how much it changed people's life, and like I fell in love with it, and I have stuck with it like ever since. There will be good times and bad times, but it's not something I want to quit, because I feel like ever since I started playing basketball, like it helped me with like so much. Like whenever I feel down and stuff, I would come to the gym or whatever, and it would help me. So I feel if I don't have it, then I don't have anything else. So I would say here has more competition because they're like in the Virgin Islands, you play the same teams over and over. Basically, it's only 3 different islands that we play the same team over and over. So it's not, you get tired of playing the same team. So like up here, you have like 100 million different teams up here that you get to play against, and they're gonna have more talent than me or something like that. So it's like I feel like up here is like much better talent wise. I would say 9th grade. So like basically when I was in 9th grade, um my first ever AU tournament, like when I went there, like it was at the Spooky Nook, Boo Williams. So I saw like a lot of like college coaches there and stuff like that. And at that time I wasn't really thinking about college. Like I'm in 9th grade, a freshman. So I was playing up, and I just saw like coaches and stuff like that, and it was like my coach pulled me aside and he was like, this could be me, like, getting college offers and stuff like that, but I just have to like put in the work and like the will to keep continuing, because I already have the high, I just need the talent and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that's different, like the scenery. Basketball wise, it would be basically like back home we would just play with the team, and then after we go home. But like here, like it's more like a family thing, like you bond with your teammates, you go out, like you see them more often. But back home you would just play with them, and after you play you just go home. Like it's not the same. So like the chemistry wise basically would be different. So like up here, like I would have more chemistry with my teammates than I would back home. And then school wise, the school system is like super different because there's like a lot of requirements that I had to deal with while I was here for me to graduate, and it was kind of rough because I wasn't accustomed to all the testing, the Florida testing and stuff like that, so it was like very challenging for me. And it's just different. Like back home is easier, but then up here is like it's harder, but it's like good for me in a way because I get to use it in the long run. In that type of sense. I've signed to go to Lamar Community College in Denver, Colorado. The full ride scholarship, and also I went to take a tour in May, and I liked the campus, the coach, and the two teammates that I interacted with at the time. Um, he basically gave me a rundown of the principles and stuff like that for on the court and off the court, especially in the classrooms and at practice. The process was kind of stressful because at first I just didn't know. My biggest fear was me having my mom pay for college or my parents pay for college in general. So that's what really scared me. But then I started to take one thing at a time because at the time I remembered that I was stressing about graduation because of a one class. But it's done now. So yeah. Oh, I was on a last minute Puerto Rican team and didn't even know the coach or anything, but I just played because I think around that time was COVID and nothing was really going on in the Virgin Islands. So I was on the Puerto Rican team and we had a tournament in Day Christian. And that's when I met my coaches. I mean, the coaches that I have now. I was playing in a tournament or whatever. Like, I felt like I didn't do that good because I haven't been practicing consistently, but I did whatever. And that's when Coach Gus and Coach Freddie came up to me and it was telling me about Mater Lakes Academy. And I think the next day we went on a tour of the school. And I liked it. And I spoke to my mom about it because she already knew, like, from the get-go, like, I don't really like being in the Virgin Islands because especially when sports is not really popping back then, like at the time. I spoke to her, I spoke to my dad, and then I think a week later I started like contacting the coaches and told them like I was ready to go, like I was ready to leave. I did my application and stuff, and my mom was on board with it. She wasn't really worried because I had family like 45 minutes away just in case. So I was happy, she was happy, and then I moved up here. I mean, I had like a couple bumps in the road, but I was managed to like overcome. And ever since then, like I like my teammates a lot, my coaches and stuff like that. So like it wasn't super hard, but it wasn't easy. But I was comfortable and I liked it, and I felt like it was a good decision because if I stayed home, then I don't think I would have been where I'm.
All the way.
From back home, I just miss like being around with my family, especially my mom, because every time I move to a different state, like she's not with me. I'll be by myself, which is like as a parent, that's like a big risk to send, especially your female daughter, to a different state that she never been before. But luckily, like in Miami, I have family here and there, but I would just most likely like miss being home with my mom and my close friends that I grew up with. I always feel homesick, like when it comes to Christmas or Thanksgiving and I can't go home. Like those special occasions like means a lot to me because I'm like a family oriented person, And it just hurts my heart when I can't go home on those breaks because of probably I can't pay for my ticket or whatever it is. But that part, that's when it really hits the most. And then another time is like when I'm really stressed out and like I can't really hug my mom because she's not here. But a phone call, I guess, might just do it. But it's not the same. Uh, thankfully, I have teammates that their family takes me in as their other daughters. So like I would go to their house and spend like a weekend with them, go to the movies or simple stuff, or just come here. Basketball is like my outlet for everything. I feel like it's just more adjusting to the culture of a new place. So like basically at this school you have a lot of Spanish speaking, but um back home like we have that too, but like in my school I never like really had to interact with them. So I know like here most of my teachers, most of my friends outside of the basketball team are also Hispanic, so I had to like adjust and learn their language a little bit, you know. But now I speak it like kind of fluently that they think that yeah. Some guy told me that I look cute. Bro. My description of mental health is like basically mental health carries like a lot of emotions. So one minute you're happy, the next minute you're sad, then you're depressed, you're homesick. But for me it's like your mind basically controls how you behave and react. So like if I'm homesick or I'm sad, my instant reaction is like I'm gonna cry, like, you know. If I'm happy, I'm smiling or whatever, my instant reaction I'm gonna laugh or what's not. So like to me, I feel like mental health is important because there's people that probably worse than me that has like a worse situation, and like they like they don't I feel like you should have somebody to like talk to like clear your head and stuff, because some people don't have that and they're in a place where they don't have nobody to talk to, and it just that's bad because it never ends up good after that. So for me, like I would say I try to be positive all the time because being negative, like that sucks. Like it doesn't feel good to be negative, and I had to change my mindset over the past year, 2 years. And I can see like when I be positive, like it I see what happens after that. Like good things happen after that. I'm not gonna lie, it happened. There's two times that it happened. In the class when I first started school here last year. Um, like with the classes and stuff, like it was different from back home. The transition and everything was just hitting me all at once, like the first 2 months of school.
Mhm.
And then I realized that it happened during the season last year as well, because, for example, I would not probably get as much playing time or stuff like that, or I would feel like I'm not good enough. Uh, and then it would also happen when like we're working out or practicing, and like I'm getting mad at myself because I'm not producing like how I feel I should be, and I'm messing up and stuff like that. So like at those two times, like that's when I feel that um that's when I feel like I'm getting down on myself, and it's you can see it in my face. So for classes, like I would go to my teachers after class or at the end of the day or something and ask questions and explain to them. And then in practice, after practice, I would like talk to my coach or like to a teammate and see like what it is. If probably I'm overthinking it because I overthink a lot. If it's just me or like what I need to do. So basically, like to ask for advice in general. I would say just take it one day at a time, to be honest, because you can't really do as much as once at once. And also like everything is gonna be new, everything's gonna be challenging. Life is full of challenges, to be honest. But it's like it depends on how you take it. Just keep focused on what you came to do actually. Give your 100%, you know, log in classrooms and on the court, be the best you can, um, and just vibe. So I have two on my roster, and that would be Asia Wilson and Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston because she also came from the Virgin Islands, and I've probably been with her probably 2 years before she moved away to. While she was in high school, when she moved away with her sister, but even though like I haven't seen her and what's not, like we work out from time to time, but I can still text her and she would be like a great mentor and give good advice and respond and keep it real because she's in the WNBA, and while she was in South Carolina, I was probably just coming into high school or something. So like she gives me advice and stuff like that, and I also keep in contact with her mom and her dad, so they also help me out too. Make TikToks. My free time, I don't even know. I sleep most of the time. I sleep most of my time because like I just be tired. I have to say the name. My friends that go here or graduated from here last year. The mall, the movies, the beach, or just go on drives and get ice cream because I love ice cream.
Okay.
Or eat food. That's about it.